Like, there's plenty of times I've gotten responses like, "Oh yeah, I've got it in the car. I've got it in
Right.
I'll bring it next week."
Or a lot of the times, like you said, they'll have it in the car, and for whatever reason, won't pull it out unless you said it.
Yep, they didn't have. Yep.
Like, why have it in the car? Like, you're not gonna sell it in the car. Have it out here. I'm glad you had it in the car. Don't get me wrong.
Right. Thank you.
Like, I'm super glad you had it in there, but at the same time, I really enjoy the people that have the knowledge and still give you a deal. Like, I've come across those. They're very rare. Very rare. I've come across a person that knows what they have and they still give me a really good deal. And to them, I say, God bless you, man. To some people, it's just a matter of just emptying their shit out. They don't want it no more. I just want to clear this table out. This is what I brought to sell. Let's go. Let's go. They brought it to sell. A lot of the people from that you come across there, it's the same stuff over and over again. You're not going to get $30-$40 for this rundown piece of equipment or, whatever it might be. And they're trying to get that one sucker to bite, man. And I'm sick of those, man. Cause
I think it's the worst when you get like $5 a part and they just won't budge.
Yeah.
And like, you're just either you don't have the extra $5 or you do, but you're just like, come on, like.
It happened to me.
I don't know why I brought that.
It happened to me. I went to the flea market.
Like winning in a negotiation at a flea market.
I just had put up a video of me going to the flea market at Bussey's, and the first half of the video is literally nothing. Like, we walked around it was early. It was like 7 a.m. We did the rounds. We went all the way across. And then we went around for round 2, nothing, literally nothing. Jesus. So then around 1 o'clock, we're like, all right, man, let's just hit up the front part again, and then we're out of here. The front, the garage sale part. And sure as hell, here comes a Hispanic family. They pulled up, and they're getting ready to put. They didn't even have a table. They just put everything on the parking lot floor. And would you believe they had a huge box of Super Nintendo with a bunch of Super Nintendo games.
What?
And they wanted $80 for the whole box.
Oh my God, that's what I'm talking about, man.
And in the box they had Super Mario World, they had Super Mario World 2, Yoshi's Island, they had Diddy Kong 2, they had Killer Instinct. They had a bunch of good games, and they wanted $80 for it. We've got them down to $60 for the box and everything,
That's good. That's good.
And it was like, if we hadn't stuck around the third time going, we would have missed that shit. So you just never know. It's all about the luck of the draw, man. Just when you're there, And
it's interesting looking back. Of course, hindsight is 20/20, as they say. And looking back into the past at some of the flea market stuff that I've passed on.
Oh yeah.
That I look back on now, and I'm like, of course, 4 years later, 3 years later, the price on it has gone insane, and I'm like, why didn't I get that Jetsons on NES for $40 when now it's $170, $150, $190, whatever. And so, like, that's just going to happen.
Yeah.
And the opportunity to buy is when it is presented to you. And, sometimes if you don't know what you're looking at, you buy, you take a risk, it can work out. And a lot of the music equipment I buy, the person either has no idea what it is or it's literally unmarked and it's from like the 70s. And
it takes a trained eye to know what it is.
It does. And like you also learn a lot. You learn a ton at the flea market. And guess what? When you go up and you learn something about something that's real expensive or like a certain designer or a certain artist or a certain brand that carries more weight in a certain realm that you had no idea about, that clicks for me, and then I see that later, and I find a really good deal on something that, I can't name an example off the top of my head, but Family National, like it's an old 1800s company. They're still around, I think, but they like made like really legit old school like iron equipment and like stoves and this, that, and the other. And I don't know, that just comes to mind as something I learned about, and they're kind of antique-y and collectible.
I like the atmosphere. I like walking around. I like hearing the old man's story about where he got this Yoda or where he got that Star Chicken of the Sea Bank. I like hearing those stories, man. For me, it's about getting close to the actual item I'm picking up, whatever it may be. If it has a story behind it, God damn it, I want to hear about it. You know?
That is fun.
So, and that's for me, you know, and I love taking my sweet time going from booth to booth, just building a rapport with all the sellers, no matter even if I'm not buying nothing from them. I like building that rapport with them, you know, for whatever reason that is, because I'm human and I'm a nice guy and I just want to bond with these people, you know. I just like going to the flea market. It's a relaxing place for me. Some people like going to Europe and vacation. I like going to the flea markets. It's my relaxation. It's my getaway.
What I really enjoyed when I was doing it really hardcore is I was waking up on Saturday mornings at like 6:30, 7 a.m.
Wow.
Right, the wife's passed out. She'll sleep till
Hardcore.
like 10 or 11 when she's got work, maybe 11 or something. Right, wake up at 10, 9:30. And I'm getting up at like 6:30 to 7 to go get my tacos at Bill Miller's, which is a local fast food like drive-thru. But it's not quite fast food. It's amazing. It's barbecue. But they do these like sausage and egg breakfast tacos that I'm addicted to completely. And so I have to eat those when I go. So I get those. I get a coffee. I'm like rolling up there. I'm alone. Or I've called you and like we're meeting up somewhere. And I get there, and there's just like this early morning fog. It's probably a little bit cold. It's not ever too cold in San Antonio, but it's a little cold.
Right.
And, you know, it just that morning like hunt, like starting the hunt, right? And I like to hit a flea market, and it's usually too tough unless you want to make it an all-day thing. If you want to hit 3 flea markets, that's an all-day thing.
That's
driving between them, they take an hour or two.
And it's
each.
rush.
Yeah, and then there's a lot, and you gotta have a lot of cash too. You gotta have a lot of capital to invest. If you want to flip stuff and make your money back on something else, go for it. That's the fun part of it. It's like pure capitalism. You're running into people who maybe they need money or they don't, or they need more space or they need something, but they're selling. Or maybe it's their life. They're just selling it. They're a flea market seller, right?
People make a living off of it,
right? So whatever circumstance they're in, they're selling, and you're able to then either get a good deal on something and flip it for the whole day, and then pick up stuff that you want, or you find the perfect thing you're looking for. You learn a story, you're having fun, and then I like to go hit like garage sales for the rest of the day. I probably call it quits though around like noon or 1. I start because when I get early, start like that 6:37. Been going for 5 or 6 hours.
And noon or 1 doesn't sound like, oh, he quit early. Man, if you've been up since 6:30, noon or 1 is like already like nighttime basically for us. Yeah. It's like and what they don't understand is there's a lot of walking involved.
Oh man,
there's
and carrying
miles and miles of walking
and
it's
lifting
insane.
And bending down and stepping over stuff and climbing up hills and climbing down hills and walking in the sun.
Oh, it's a job. It feels like a job at some point, but it's a fun job.
And why it slowed down for me is not only time and life and stuff in general that slows me down from being able to go and do that, but it's so time consuming. There's other stuff I want to do now, but I started not finding stuff. I mean, like
same here. It's
just less.
I still try.
I would find stuff, but it was just I wouldn't be coming home with. I used to come home with a car full.
Same here.
To the wife, and she looked at me like I'm crazy. Like, what the hell did you just go do and buy? What is all that? Where are we gonna put all this stuff? And to me, it was just this mountain of gold. And I remember taking pictures of tables 3 or 4 times this size, full of bags, and I was just like, dude, I scored so good today. Like the loot was insane, and that's when I had some capital flowing, and I had a collection going, and I was building it up real fast, like by hunting and doing these like crazy deals.
And there was a lot of it out there at the time.
Like, flip and keep going, and I would
like that no more.
No, it slowed down a lot.
It's not like that.
Slowed down a lot. Good. I almost completely have stopped going to Goodwills because the turnout rate of me getting something,
I still try,
is like 5%.
No, yeah, no, the ratio is really low.
1 out of 20 Goodwills that I go into, I now get something. Because not only am I looking for less and less, unless I'm looking to flip something, like collection-wise or music-wise, I'm looking for less. But I'm also like finding less deals on stuff to flip. I used to find something like, oh shoot, this is marked at $100. This is a $600 yada
pianos and keyboards.
Yeah. I'm talking like stuff that I know outside the realm of
I remember you would pick up
games.
fans. Remember the antique fans at the flea market you would pick up?
I just sold that. Picked that up for $25 and sold it for $260.
Yeah, I remember. You would be. I used to be like, why is he look? Because at the time, my mind was only video games.
Right.
Never even came close to thinking that you could flip other stuff.
Yeah.
And you showed me that you were looking for video games too. But aside from video games, you had this antique eye that I had no idea you had in, and you were buying like little wooden pianos and antique fans, and I'm like, what is this guy up to? And sure as hell, there's money in that stuff. You just gotta know what to look for.
Gotta know what to look for.
Because you can be buying an old piece of junk that you're just gonna be throwing out because it ain't worth nothing, and you can't fix it because you don't know how to fix it.
Well, not only that, but oh shoot, damn it! I was gonna say something. I just lost my train of thought.
Way to go.
Fill in. Let me think.
For the most part, flea markets are the best way to start a collection. Say you're just starting off, and you don't want to pay full retail at a retail store. Like, say, I don't want to throw our local video
I know what I
game
was
store.
gonna say.
Go for it.
Okay, so before I forget, so when you're going and you're trying to flip stuff, if you're doing Craigslist, it's a zero flip, charge. You just got to meet the person.
Right.
It's cash.
I don't like
Maybe
that,
you
though.
sell a little bit less, but if you do eBay, just remember, guys, 10% eBay charge, 2.9, basically 2.79% PayPal fee. So you're chopping 13% off. So if you're not looking at something and saying this is 25%, I can get 25% more than what this is worth. So therefore you get 12% profit. That's like my minimum. If I can't get 25% more, it's not even worth it, because by the time I get a box and shipping materials and 13% is chopped off, I'm making 12%. It's nothing. So, I'm usually looking to at least double, like a 50% increase or 100% increase, double your investment.
Right. No, totally.
So, but where are we going with this?
Flea markets.
Yeah.
We like them.
We love them.
We love them.
Let's wrap up that segment.
Yeah.
That was good. We'll return to that. I mean, we're big flea market hunters, and
Bussies, go to it.
We'll
It's
go back
awesome.
one day. Yeah, that was fun.
All right. Next subject.